Hey everyone, how's it going today? We're here to talk about the new ESEE CM6. This knife is designed by Terrell Hoffman, and it is a great tactical as well as camping tool. It's part of the Chestnut Mountain Proving Grounds knives that ESEE is coming out with, and that just means that it's made for both tactical and camping purposes. This is a great knife for both of those. I think it would serve you well in either role. What makes this more of a tactical knife than a camping or survival knife really is this sharpened swedge right here. Kind of a clip point design style that's sharpened just makes it so much better for puncturing. We'll just go in with a lot less resistance. The bad thing about that though, makes it very difficult for batoning. When you're going like this with your baton piece, you're really just going to be ruining that through and through by your cutting. And really good choil there, keeps your fingers from sliding forward if you are going to use it for puncturing. You get a good grip on it, and nothing really wrong with a thinner handle. Of course the scales are removable. You got your hex screws, just pop them off. I think there's a hollow handle inside there you can fill with some small camping supplies, whether it be fishing line or fishing hooks or string, something like that. But what these handles don't have, that some of the other new ESEE designs have, is kind of a little groove right here. And that's mainly for your bow drill. When you're going like this, making your fire, you got something for it to stick into, so you don't have to find yourself a rock or whittle one into a piece of wood. You've got one already there in your knife. And this is a really, really good knife, really for everything you're going to need. It comes with, of course, a very nice ESEE Kydex sheath, which is friction fit made for each of these knives, and that's such a positive sound in there. No rattle, which makes it a very good tactical piece. A lot of people complain that Kydex, you'll hear a rattle, and when you're sheathing and unsheathing, it's just such a loud sound that people just don't really want to use Kydex sheaths for tactical purposes, really because they'll give away your position or something along those lines. People will much prefer a nylon sheath or something along those lines. But I think that this sheath really will do the job for camping as well as tactical purposes. These lanyard holes you can use to lash to your LBE gear, your MOLLE things. They got MOLLE attachments, you've got tech locks, anything like that to get it onto you so you always have the knife with you. One last thing I forgot to mention about the sheath that it comes with is that it also comes with this belt clip option. Something screws as well, so that you can attach it here, and it actually goes the opposite way of what you think. Attach your 4 screw holes there, and then your knife goes in this way, and that's your belt clip or boot clip, depending on this is a boot knife for you, but most of the time it's just going to be belt clip. Hardened stainless steel, not going to bend out. It is able to be bent back in. You can just pinch this with some pliers if it does bend out, and works very well. Easy to take off and put back on, which is the key. Alrighty guys, I think this ESEE CM6 is a really, really good piece. I think it will serve well. It's along the lines of the Laser Strike, about the same size, a little bit more tactical design instead of camping, and the handle is just super comfortable. It really gets a good grip for all the kinds of things. No jimping, might be a little bit of concern for some people, but the grip itself lends itself well to giving yourself a good grip. We'll finish off today just by talking about some other competitive options, some other tactical / camp knives that will serve you well for whatever you really need them for. Cold Steel SRK. Great knife, very comfortable craton handle, really good grip, pretty thick, give you a good positive grip when you're wearing gloves and things like that, and really, really nice for batoning, like nice thick stock there. That's a good choice. The Browse Striker, something not many people have seen, not really a popular knife, just one of my favorites. Really gives you a positive grip, something like that, gives you a really good angle for cutting. Very, very thick stock, nicely contoured G10 handle, really just a good solid camp knife, and look at that, that's going to stab really well if you're going to try and do anything tactical wise. And lastly, something in the budget value category, something that you won't have to spend a lot of money on, but you'll still get a lot of knife. The Schrade F3. Super knife. It may look like a Chris Reeve Green Beret or William Harsey design, something like that. Probably because it is based off that, but it is a Schrade knife and available for around $35. Micarta handle, not sure the kind of steel, but it is a superb knife. Super thick grip, look at that, amazing. Gives you a really positive hold. I'd say this is much more of a tactical knife than camping knife, but it really will serve the purposes you need. Alrighty guys, thanks for joining us today. Just to run by some quick specs of the knife. It is 11 1/8 inch overall, nearly a foot. It's got a 5 7 inch blade made from 1095 steel, and they rock well it to about 50 to 55 to 57 on the scale. Canvas micarta scales, very nice texturing as always. They're going to be, water and corrosion resistant. They're going to be pretty much water and weatherproof. They're very good. They will absorb some of the oils of your hand, so they will change color over time. Don't worry about that. It kind of just makes the micarta a little bit more impervious to the elements. The knife says 10 ounces. We weighed it in at 9.3, 12.5 total with the sheath. And 1 3/8 inch of a blade width there. Really all you really need for everything you're going to do. Alrighty guys, lastly, if you're wondering what I'm carrying today, Spyderco Cali 3. Love this knife. Extremely comfortable grip. Love the smooth carbon fiber scales. Really doesn't tear up your pocket at all. Deep carry pocket clip. Absolutely superb. If you want someone not to know you're carrying a knife, you're only going to see that much showing. Really perfect. Also like how it's just a classic design. Alright guys, thanks a lot for joining us. Take care.